To deliver a great employee experience, there's a need for HR to start working in multifunctional teams. But what does this mean and what does it look like? And does it mean that we need to start reshaping our operating model in HR? I'm Natal Dank from PXO Culture, and we help you achieve business success through people success. Today, I'm going to talk with Tom Hark from the HR Trends Institute, and he helps you make sense of the latest trends, and by doing so, increases the impact of HR and business. Okay, so great to see you again, Tom. Looking fantastic in blue. We've been talking together for a number of years about the need for HR to work in a more multifunctional way. But it seems that the coronavirus has really kind of accelerated this. So now, sort of default, HR has had to start working much more closely with other teams from facilities, IT, legal, just to kind of respond to the crisis. What does this mean? Does this mean that we've actually reached the where we wanted it to be, which is HR are now going to work in a more multifunctional way? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, I hope, huh? Let's hope so. So I think, of course, the first multifunctionality comes with working with other internal departments, huh? Like you mentioned, IT, like you mentioned, finance, like facility management. That's, you could, in a sense, a first step. What also has been going on, and what we probably would like to see more of, is working closer with the business departments, like marketing. HR and marketing have a lot in common. They can work together a lot. HR and all the customer-facing people. Are we really doing things that help our customers? So that's wider than just the internal departments. So that's one element. Another element is the multifunctionality, in a sense, in the HR domain. Are you using all the different tools, interventions of HR? And there I like to talk about HR, the HR leaders, HR professionals, as HR architects that look at, okay, what are the issues we are tackling, and how can we build a sensible architecture using all the different parts? Maybe not all the different parts, but the parts that have a real effect. So learning and development, selection, reward. We know all the subjects, but generally what we see a lot in HR, that they take all the ingredients and say, we have to use it all. But an architect makes clever choice. So that's maybe another, maybe it's not multifunctional, maybe it's more holistic, but I think that's another element.
Yeah, definitely.
And one other dimension is, you could say, the scope of for whom you are working. It's not only the employee, it's not only the organization, but it's wider. Who are your stakeholders as HR? We have seen, in my view, that's an opinion, absolutely, but HR has focused a lot too much on management. We want to please our bosses. Hey, manager, we are important. Well, it's employees. Of course, it's management, it's clients, it's all the people who are connected to the organization, plus society. So multifunctional, yes, but there I don't see enough these days. We would expect, we would hope that HR takes also a more independent role, saying, hey, company, are we doing relevant things to make the world a better place, to use some
yeah, definitely. What's our purpose in the world, and how do we deliver against that? No, I really like that. So I agree with you. I think it's this more holistic view of the employee experience itself, but who you had to partner to deliver against that, and who is your customer, and then who is your collaborative partner. So who should you be inviting into the project team, or who are the users that you go and test things with? So what's the benefits here? So I know in the past, I used to look after leadership or performance or talent, and these were massive, big topics that one person sort of looked after, but you ended up having to go and work with everyone around the organization to make something happen. So what are the benefits of breaking down these sort of silos in HR and starting to work in a more multifunctional way? What do you see as the benefits?
Well, I think the benefit is the impact will be higher. So it's not about, okay, we have to do everything. It's how can we create a high impact on the issues, helping to solve the most urgent issues. So it has to do with impact. It also has to do with speed. And it has to do with your status is not the right word, but how your appreciation in the organization. Sometimes you heard in the past, at least, that people are saying, hey, what exactly is HR doing? Because we saw a lot of HR people working with each other, and not reaching out. And then, as you said, it's the learning and development team, the talent team. So the benefits, I would say, higher impact, more appreciation, and in the end, it's solving urgent issues.
Definitely. It's the seat at the table that everyone's always talked about, really, isn't it? Yeah. So I like that. It's about demonstrating impact by the value that we're actually delivering to the business, which is a different way to just demonstrating impact because of what we do, activity.
And not being too patronizing. I don't know the right so you should do this and you should do this and you should that nobody is waiting for that. Nobody is waiting.
No, because actually, if you go and solve problems that are real for the business, people want to be involved in that. It's not just HR. Everyone wants to solve the problem and to know how to work more effectively together. And if we get into what the real problem is, I think people will really want to partner with HR. This is the key. So why haven't we quite got there yet with this multifunctional way of working in HR? So what have been the challenges in starting to evolve our operating model beyond the sort of siloed ways of working that we've talked about?
Yeah, and I don't know exactly. It has to do with skill set. In order to be able to work with other people, you have to understand them. You have to know about what they're doing. So you have to know about the business. You have to know about marketing. You have to know about technology. You have to know about IT. So it's quite wide range you need to be able to talk about. Yes. So I think that's part of it. It might be fear as well. You're comfortable in your own zone. And it's maybe less comfortable to reach out and to connect to other people, but at the same time it's big fun, and you can learn a lot. And who doesn't want higher impact? So and we see it a lot already. So let's not be too negative, because high performing HR teams are doing this these days.
They are, exactly. I think there's a bit of the legacy as well, isn't it, of where we've come from in HR. The best practice that we needed to have these different kind of areas of specialism that looked at different topics, which led to these individual topic owners, and everything could have fell to them. But actually, to solve any of the problems that we have in HR and the business, we have to work together. Anything around talent, leadership, development, all of those, it actually is multi-skilled to get it done. And as I said, I think we're seeing some really great examples of HR teams making great impact in this space now, because they are working in a more multifunctional way. And I think that's the key tip that people can take away today, Tom, is that no matter if you're even not working agile yet, or you're not even sure what business agility is, the next project that you run, go and get someone from another part of the business to be part of it with you. And I think reaching out to something like marketing, communications, a certain product development part of the business, this is essential. Go and ask them, could you be part of this project? Could you be either a user that tests solutions, or actually help me do certain things day to day? And you'll be amazed by the result. So go and reach out and actually make the multifunctional happen in your next project. Thanks so much for your time today, Tom. Really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and do let us know what you would like us to focus on next with a comment below, or get in touch on LinkedIn. Thanks for your time.